Good morning, and welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of San Antonio. My name is Miriam Thompson, and I've been a member of the First UU since 2014. I found this church as I was looking for a community open to seekers with a variety of approaches to spirituality and concerned with the value of all life. And I found exactly that at the First UU. I've enjoyed my covenant group for many years, the choir, and a variety of the religious ed offerings also over the years. Our weekly worship is where we connect and share information and inspiration. To begin, let's acknowledge this geographical place where we are currently located, the home and traditional lands of the Coahuiltecan people, original and indigenous stewards of this land, now called Bexar County and San Antonio, Texas. At our church, we believe and act in a universal love that binds us in mutual care and affection, especially in our work for justice for all and for our planet. Our faith is all-inclusive, and all means all. If you are new to us or visiting for the first time today, we welcome you to sign in on the chat stream and fill out a visitor's card. We'd like to get to know you and to follow up with you. Wherever you are on your life's journey, we hope you will find a place with us.
Find the stillness, hold the stillness, let the stillness carry me. Find the silence, hold the silence, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Seek the essence, hold the essence, let the essence carry me. Let me flower, help me flower, watch me flower, carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony.
Good morning. I'm Glenda Kostick, and I am the Assistant Director of Religious Education of the church. My husband and I have been members. He's been a member since he was about 4 years old, and I've been a member since the early 90s. And his mother was a member here too, and she made this lovely little chalice, which we repurposed as a lovely bird feeder. And we're going to use it today as our chalice holder. The flaming chalice unites our members in worship and symbolizes the spirit of our faith. Today, chalice lighting words are paraphrased from Janet Parsons. The flame of our chalice this morning is a symbol of the warmth and the brightness of our connections. The flame lights our way back together again from our separate ways during the COVID year, and it lights our way forward as we anticipate gathering together in our new church year of promise and renewal. We gather together. Thank you.
We are called as Unitarian Universalists to build the beloved community, where all are welcome as blessings and the human family lives in forgiveness and grace, whole and reconciled. We know that this aim takes work, and so we are committed to live and behave as a community in covenant. Let's recite our covenant that articulates our guidelines and binds us together in community. The words can be found on your screen. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in worship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other. As Unitarian Universalists, we often focus on serving each other and making a difference in our worlds. Yet in order to have the energy and strength to serve others, we must also focus on ourselves in building resilience, asking for support through life's tough times, and encouraging ourselves and each other to connect with our own quest for purpose and meaning. This takes many forms and requires a lot of energy to maintain. As a way to give respect to ourselves and others, we are advised to have a spiritual practice or a hobby that can assist us in learning ways to center ourselves. In today's service, we'll hear more about an experience of recollection and renewal that can be helpful for us to manage our own stress and complex lives.
As a way for us to connect as a community, you're invited to share a joyful event, a sorrow, or a concern by entering it on the chat stream. Please let us know what is in your heart. For ours is a welcoming community where we find connection, a spiritual community where we come fully alive. Ours is a sharing community where our joys are amplified, a caring community where our sorrows are heard and held in compassion. Especially at this time, may we listen more deeply and grow more involved and connected to one another. Let's join in silent meditation as we write our joys and sorrows on the chat stream while Jaime plays our meditation music. Take a deep, cleansing breath and exhale. For all our joys, sorrows, and concerns, may we feel empathy and compassion. And for all that is unspoken, may the caring of our community offer a space of deep kindness, loving, and just action.
Let's take a few minutes to pause and appreciate the sensations around us. Most of the time, our ears do not hear much of what is going on around us in the world. Now, though, let's relax and see how many sounds we can pick up. Close your eyes and let your body feel peaceful and relaxed. Take a few deep breaths and feel all of the tension draining out of your body. Let yourself go completely, feeling the soothing sense of relaxation fill your body. Relax and become aware of your ears. Let your ears pick up all the sounds you can hear outside the room. Now, let your ears pick up all the sounds you can hear inside the room. Now be very silent and listen to the sound inside your ears. Listen to this sound and let it fill your head. Now, listen to that sound with the center of your body instead of with your ears. You can return to that sound when you want to feel relaxed and peaceful. When you want to feel more calm, just relax your body and listen to your inner sound. It is a soothing sound that will help you learn to listen to your body. Now it is time to let your awareness come back to the room. Feel the alertness coming slowly into your hands, your feet, your chest, your head, moving slowly. You are feeling rested and alert.
It's now time for our invitation to generosity. The offertory brings us the opportunity to share our gifts, gifts that have nourished our hearts and can bring inspiration and care to others. You may make an offering on our online giving portal through the link on the chat stream, or mail a check made out to First UU Church. What a beautiful song, and wonderfully played by Bill Westney. It speaks to our theme today of time and a pace that is more restful. May we be grateful for the gifts shared with our church through the offertory. All the gifts of time, talent, and treasure that serve to enhance us as people, to support our wider community, and to make our world a better place. May it be so. I've entitled today's message on taking your time. At a dinner with church members, I mentioned to my table companions that I was starting a silent retreat on the next day. You see, I had made a commitment when I became a minister to give myself the gift of an annual silent retreat. One person at the table asked, "Well, why would you want to go off and be silent?" Well, that's a good question, and today I'll take the opportunity to address it. It's understandable to question the idea of a silent retreat. Yet such a practice has been done traditionally as a part of many different faith traditions. And I've mentioned that in the midst of my 6 years of seminary, when I was a gregarious 26-year-old, I lived as a monk for 6 months at a Trappist monastery, where the community practiced silence. So why was I visiting this mysterious realm of silence and solitude at this time of my life? Primarily because silence provides a space to think, to relax, to rest, and to be. And who among us couldn't use more of that? My motivation in seeking silence is to connect with the very basic and essential part of myself that the mystics call the true self. A self that precedes words and even the personality. A silent retreat provides a vacation from the personality with all its emotional programs and survival strategies. There's no need to impress anyone or try to do or accomplish anything. Now, entering into the silence is a slow and long process. Even now, when I drive to the retreat house in South Texas, I am in the car for more than 3 hours on my way to a solitary hermitage. And I usually take a 5-day retreat. Now, the first 2 days seem to last more than a week. Now, what do? I eat 3 meals a day in a modest dining hall with 10 tables and 3 different dining spaces. I eat very slowly, chewing each bite, savoring the flavors and textures, simply enjoying relaxing. After all, I don't need to talk with or engage with anyone, even though I'm not alone in the dining room. There are others, even sharing the same dining table. We just eat politely and don't look at each other, except every once in a rare while, just to acknowledge the other with kindness. A few days of silence is helpful to focus the mind on the priorities of one's life, to look at life from the bleacher view rather than on the playing field. And there are practical benefits of time to rest. Taking an afternoon nap, an observant walk in the morning or evening hours, or simply to sit in a rocking chair on the porch. The presence of life in silence becomes so very basic, like the element of water that we absolutely need for life, or the air we breathe without even noticing. And I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I don't look at any electronic devices. I don't even read or listen to any news or entertainment. My days are filled with long walks, sitting on a porch, listening to the sounds of the birds and watching the antics of wild animals on a 10,000-acre retreat. That's entertaining enough. Yet silence is not merely the absence of talking or stimulation. It's actually an experience of the profound presence of everything. It's a way to feel more deeply connected to all aspects of life. It's true. Don't take my word for it. Try it. And you'll find that you can be more present to everything. Yes, even to yourself. And this awareness of the presence of everything can be recreated even after the retreat by taking part of each week to practice silence, an afternoon Sabbath, or a day of rest. After all, today I'm not any less gregarious than I was at age 26, and I need a break from myself from time to time. Do you wonder, like I do, if our overemphasis on productivity and activities in the use of our time obscures the magic and spaciousness of the hours and days themselves? Let me illustrate. Imagine a well-performed symphony, say, one by Beethoven, maybe the Fifth, with all its variety of orchestration, rests and retards, attenuated beats and emphases, rhythms and movements. Then imagine that suddenly all the silence between the notes is eliminated, leaving us with an undifferentiated cacophony, each sound pressed against the next. What a mess, like a fallen cake. What I would like to say from this illustration about finding a rhythm of living is that when doing is followed immediately by more doing with no space to reflect, time becomes more fleeting. And the measures of time, hours, days, weeks, months, and years can fly by more quickly and incessantly until some strange day in everyone's life when all the doing suddenly stops. It stops because of some great change, an illness or injury. It stops in retirement, in bereavement, in your own final days, even at death itself. I wonder if, without space to appreciate the moments of life, are we simply running the race of life as fast as we can until we die? We speak of making time, of saving time, and yet the experience of time at its richest is most often lost to us when we're busy without relief. At our usual human speed, the world is a blur, and all the other lives we encounter can become a blur too. And that's why some of us like to relax with a book or in a few yoga poses, taking a nap, or enjoying a hobby. And it's the reason for an occasional retreat, or simply stopping to smell the roses. And to some, this might seem just a little self-indulgent. Well, I say, good on us for that kind of indulgence. We need to praise ourselves occasionally and gently allow ourselves more of this kind of self-care and access to our true self. Now, in the semi-annual men's retreats I lead at our U Camp and Retreat Center, where the schedule is intentionally sparse to accommodate R&R, participants comment during the weekend about their experiences of the abundance of time. At such a retreat venue, I like to refer to poet David Whyte's book, Crossing the Unknown Sea. It's about our professional pursuits and identities. He writes how the hours we spend in productivity are getting longer and longer, and at the same time, our perception of these hours as being the time that makes up our lives is becoming shorter and shorter. We use such expressions as stealing time, as if it no longer belongs to us, or needing time, as if it weren't already available to us at every moment. We talk of making time for ourselves as an apt expression of our need to do so. Today, I'm especially reminded of the words of Joseph Campbell, paraphrased as, "I don't believe people are looking for the meaning of life as much as they are looking for the experience of being fully alive." I think we're here to look for both. We must make meaning of our lives in the time that we have, and that's our privilege as human beings, as meaning-making people of choice and intelligence and critical thinking. We have to make meaning of our lives in the time that we have, as well as fully live our lives in this time. My point today is to invite us to examine our relationship to time. Has it become corrupted because we've failed to allow ourselves very little experience of the timeless? What if that experience of timelessness on a silent retreat, or a weekend getaway, or an afternoon nap, or even in a moment of silence, can facilitate the emergence of something growing inside us, something we haven't paid attention to in the rush of time and activities? What if it's a peace or calm that can overflow into our outer world? How will we celebrate the time of our lives? How about giving attention to each moment or groups of moments? We have a choice as how we perceive time, how we receive each moment, what kind of energy and attention we give to each person, to each hour, to each day, and what kind of attention, patience, and presence we are bringing to this incessant flood of productive activities. Today's message is a wake-up call, hopefully, to find in ourselves the interest and the ability to be more present, more robust, more open to life, to have a real conversation with a deeper aspect of ourselves. No matter what some may say, we do not simply create our own reality as if it were a solo job. Sure, we have a part in it, depending on how aware we are of the currents of our lives moving in and out of time. Today, let's renew our attention to the river of time, which can sometimes turn in an instant from a stream of tranquility into a churning turmoil. Let's commit to making an effort to find some spaciousness in our journey through time, in order to focus on doing the right thing, in the right way, your own way, yet in concert with others. Let's make use of our time while we can to breathe more deeply and to come more fully alive as that larger and expanded you. Find time for what you truly love. Perhaps our time apart from each other during the pandemic has given us new insights or new tools for making good use of our time. I wonder if you, like me, feel compelled to use all my time, or too often feel badly about wasting time. I'd like to offer, as a reflection on today's message, that each of us has a best pace and rhythm, like there are best practices. And I invite you to seek your own best pace and to find someone you know and who knows you to talk about what your best pace and rhythm is. To talk about some of the ideas that I addressed today and to discover more about yourself and a pace and rhythm that works best for you. Let's enjoy the Postlude by Jaime, and those who choose to gather online, please join the Zoom link for coffee hour. Those viewing in our sanctuary in person, we'll have a conversation after the service as well. And for those unavailable to join on either, thank you so much for being with us today. Go in peace until we meet again. Take good care.